Oh yeah, this is great. This is great. There's me looking at me, not looking at me. All right, we're live. Okay, we got to figure that out somehow. Okay, goodbye TikTok. I don't know what we're doing here. Try that. There, that works, right? Hi everybody. We're totally prepared here, and welcome to Beyond the Boards, which is our first pre-game show, joined by my friends Billy Yurchuk and Connor Burke. And thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Billy, you're excited. Connor's excited. I know that. And we want to say a thanks and a shout out to our friends at Hughes Intelligence Canada, who are supporting our broadcast and all of our intermission broadcasts as well. Right. We're going to be here about 30 minutes, I think. We say 20, but I bet you we could probably do an hour.
We could.
But, things won't let us do that tonight. But we've got lots to talk about. For those of you who are watching on TikTok, thank you so much for being here as well. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please click the share button so you can share this around so we can have fun with more people. And we're happy to have you share your comments, and then we'll do our best to look at those and respond to them as best we can. I see people around here already coming in. I've been here most of the day. I went home for about a half an hour to clean up and back. I was here at 5 o'clock and people were already coming in here. Guys, that's got to be a testament. I know I've talked about it before, and I'll probably talk about it all year, to the support of the fans in this community.
Unbelievable. They're always here. Like you said, I walked around and there was people crowding the aisles already, and it was 5:45.
Yeah.
Puck dropping at 7:05. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. Billy, you've been here for many, many years as well.
Yeah, you see the buzz already, pardon the pun, but
We'll
a lot of
it.
jerseys, a lot of black and yellow, look like bees. I just love the support, and it seems getting stronger. I think in the past the support wavered based on the quality of the team, but I don't know that that's really the case anymore. I think people are, lifers, if you will, and like Leaf fans, right? Whether they win or lose, you're a fan.
Yeah.
A lot of faith in the management group.
Yeah, for sure there.
Well, speaking of management group and the coaching staff, this is interesting tonight because Al Letang is still not going to be on the bench tonight. And he's got one more game before he's allowed back after last year's final game.
Debacle, let's say.
Yeah,
debacle.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Let's talk about that real quick. Connor, what were your thoughts? You remember that clearly, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was a good look on the league entirely, really, with our overage players stepping onto the bench to fill the role of our coaches who had been kicked off. And I think for probably not the best reason. It was a little bit of ego from the referees and just trying to throw their weight around. Maybe, just being nice. Anyway.
I know you're being polite, but
yeah.
And now it's transitioned into this season, which really kind of sucks for us actually, because that's the bench boss. That's our fearless leader.
Well, the positive side to that is that I did hear Coach Letang on Cool 106.3 News earlier today, and they were talking to him, interviewing him, saying what's got to happen this year. And, it's pretty straightforward what he said. This team just has to push forward. They've got to get a hold of the puck and get it into the net area so those that are there can score the goals.
Yep.
I mean, that's a pretty straightforward philosophy, Billy.
Yeah, it is. You can't get any more fundamental than that. And what that tells you, actually, behind the scenes is don't get into the crap. Don't be playing stupid. Just play fundamental hockey.
Yeah.
And we've seen them in the exhibition games. If they do that, then they score. And if they score, chances are they'll win. So
yeah, well, we've also seen them in a couple of the exhibition games where, like the first one, they weren't paying attention to that because there was a whole line in that penalty box.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, right? You divert from the plan, and that's what happens.
Yeah, right. So focus on the plan for sure. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. And I heard too, and this is just a rumor. So I heard that part of Letang's disciplinary, if you will, is that he's also expected to apologize to Ferguson.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Not sure how sincere that will be. But,
I would like to be in that room if that occurred. I'd like to film that, so to speak.
That would
no
be
kidding.
Incredible.
It should go both ways, in my opinion.
Well, come on. Yeah. For years now, and this goes way back to Kevin Hart, if you will, apologizing. Famous celebrities apologizing. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Aren't we kind of tired of that?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the fans, if we were to take a poll, would say that's a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I almost. I didn't want to laugh, but that seems funny to me. They're two grown men, and this is a tough game, and the emotions get high.
Yeah.
If that's what's needed, then I guess both ways, shake
Well,
hands and say sorry. But it's definitely not a one-sided thing.
It's the entitled culture we're in, and hopefully they both get participation awards for apologizing to each other. Like, I'm not saying it was right. Like, it's definitely, you got to hold some professionalism. But these two are adults that have been in the game a long time, and both of them, I bet you, are laughing at the fact that he's got to apologize behind the scenes. Well, and, you know, one game later, or a couple of plays later, they forget about it. Like, these referees have thick skins, and the coaches have been around, so it's kind of silly.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, I mean, jokes have already been made. You know, when we had the Sting Awards earlier this year, I mean, there were some jokes made. Yeah. I made a joke on stage, you know. Terry Doyle had some say we were kind of too soon. Anyway, but, you know, like, you move on. Like, I don't think Alan Latang's the type of guy personally and as a coach to hold on to grudges, to hold on to things. And I think the referees mostly understand and appreciate somebody like an Alan Latang who typically doesn't fly off the handle, doesn't yell. He's very calm. You can see some looks on his face at times, but that's about it. So what we saw there last year was definitely, is it out of character? I don't know about out of character. I think you just get to a point of looking around and going, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Right? You know, so.
And the referees probably watch the replay and go, yeah, I probably deserve that. You know, so well, there's an element of that too, right?
Hey, I was a bit of a,
I was a bit of a jerk. So,
okay. All right, let's move on. Next, I'm going to start this one with Connor Burke. Connor, you're excited about this because this is the first time since, like, I think 2011, I think, that the Sarnia Sting have made a trade with London.
They had. I found some more. I did some deep digging, but it's still a rare trade between these two teams. Yeah, I had to go deep digging.
Why do you think that's a rare trade between these two teams?
Just because they're in the same division. It's really hard to trade a player to someone that you're going to see 3, 4, 5 times a season, and you know, especially if it's a talented player, you don't want to be giving him up. Now he's coming your way and shooting the puck on your net. Yeah, that's just the main thing, I think. Really.
And he joined London, and they were like, "Oh, this is good for." And then he was he was there for a blink.
He had 8 points in 4 games in the preseason.
Wow,
absolutely incredible. So and now he's on the first line tonight with Wainwright and Felix. So he gets rewarded for a good preseason.
You're excited for this?
I am pretty excited, actually. I'm very excited.
What's your now? You know when you come from a team like London, and we've talked before, Billy, about Billy's not a real big fan of that, but. You know, a player that was there, I guess he was only there in a blink of an eye, so he didn't get time to be molded a certain way, I guess, right? If you were a player that played on London for maybe a year already and then came to something like the Sting, you'd really have to adjust your gameplay.
Yeah, no, I'm just coming from a winning culture. I think it's nice to have someone that, you know, that has been in that locker room. Not that there's anything wrong with ours, but that's just you hate to admit it, but it's an excellent organization and they know how to win.
Yeah, well, Billy, you said that before. Not a big fan of Hunter hockey, but can't take away the success that they've had in this league.
Yeah, the success is unparamountted, and I give all credits for the success. You know, how they play in the corners and all the sticks work, that's a different commentary. But, Johnson come from there. He's a big kid. You know, we gave away a draft pick, and I think it's one of the draft picks that we acquired, you know, about a month ago. So it was probably foreshadowed in that regard that they were going to do something like that. And I just hope he contributes, and I'm sure he will.
Yeah, well, that would be the expectation coming in, especially Connor talking about the points that this young player has already gotten. And, you know, you talk about young players. This is still a young team. I've said it before. Dylan Sika had a coffee with him one time and in passing, and he said, yeah, we're still a young team, Dave, you know. And he said, we're not oblivious to that. However, there's still a high bar that is set and expected to be maintained if you're to play continuously on this team. And I think that's a part of the philosophy of this team is like, we can't just sit back and go, well, we're a young team. That's like saying the bar's quiet because it's Monday. You know, like you got to do something to make the action happen out there. What's this team got to do, Connor, right now? You know, with the welcoming of a new player, we've got our Russian fan out there and everything else going on. What's this team got to do that needs to improve that you've seen so far in the preseason?
It's just taking a step forward, like you said. There's only such a small window in the OHL. You have probably 4 years at max to get into a championship, and I think if we miss the playoffs again, it's not a step forward. There's only 4 teams that don't make it, and if we're gonna have some kind of step towards the championship, you have to make the playoffs this year. Even if it's just the first round exit, you go in, you get scrappy, you get a little bit of experience, and then all these guys know what it's like to come back again next year and try again harder when they're bigger and stronger.
Yeah, and hopefully they do that without selling the farm, right? Like, because, you know, they may be able to pick up a couple of players and get rid of a couple of players, but is that going to hurt you then next year? It is still a rebuilding year, yet you still can make the playoffs with what you have, and that's what I'm hoping that happens.
The other thing to consider, too, is, I mean, everybody wants a win. Everybody wants a Memorial Cup. Everybody wants all that stuff. Can you, you know, as a young team, you're building and you're working, you need to look down the road maybe a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years. I would say 26, 27 probably, you know. Can you build a team too fast to get to that level of where we want to be?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, this is a homegrown team now. Like, these are all drafted. There's not many of these players have come in from a trade. We got a clean slate after our deep run, and now these are guys that are going to be part of the organization for a bit. They get familiar. Don't sell the farm, like you said. Just be patient. Wait until they're going to get there. You know, you can't hope for a 100-point season in a sophomore or a rookie season. Like, it just that's all it is. It's experience. They're just going to become more comfortable every game.
Patience is. Are you a patient guy, Billy?
Depends in what.
In
you
what?
know,
Yeah.
I'm very competitive, so it's hard to be patient in athletics. You know, sometimes in business, yes, you have to be patient, especially when dealing with senior demographic. But when you're talking about sports, no, not very patient, and sometimes competitive at a fault. And I know these kids are too. You know, they've grown up AAA, and you know, a lot of them are used to winning on their minor league teams, and then they come here and they go, like, what's going on? We got to win now. And that's good to have. That's good mentality to have.
Well, it's a bit of a positive aggression, I guess, if you will say it that way. And then, you know, these young minds, I remember when I was young, it's like, I want it all and I want it now, right?
Yeah.
You know, Connor, you're the youngest out of us old guys. Do you have patience when it comes to sports?
Well, I've been known to punch the steering wheel in traffic, but, you know, in other words, like this, I hope we just wait. I'm nothing but patient for this. Like, just wait and watch it grow. It's a flower.
It seems to be,
blossom.
right. That's a good way to
put
it,
right?
right?
Yeah, law of the farm.
It seems to be that is the pace here, and I think that's probably a contributing factor to the fans again coming out and showing support. Like even last year when we were down and we weren't going anywhere, I think they see it. I feel even right now looking around at the people here getting here early. It's the home opener, playing against Windsor. Either Windsor or London on a home opener is pretty awesome.
That's the way it should be.
The Windsor tonight, you know, and again having their first overall against our second overall. But now we got the London. Like there's a lot happening out there. Everybody's just excited. It's almost like the wrestling match that you thought Hulk Hogan was going to win again.
Right.
Right. You know, he's like, I don't know.
Who's Hulk Hogan?
Who's that?
And it could be a wrestling match. Like it looks like a pilage of trees in Windsor. They're all like 9-foot tall players, and
why aren't they playing football?
Yeah, basketball or something. But you know, like you can't be intimidated by the size because we have speed, and you know we beat them preseason. I know it's in a shootout, but still we held them close the whole game, and so you can't be intimidated by that. Although they're massive, that's for sure.
Yeah. We're going to take a moment here and say hello to our friends on TikTok. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. We're looking for 10 roses, and if you would follow and get us to 1,000 loves before, that's about 15 minutes, no pressure. But for those of you watching out there, thanks so much. And for those of you watching on Facebook, we can see your comments, I think I got that working. So if you've got something positive to say about your Sarnia Sting, we'd love to hear about it. Speaking of positive, let's move on to our next topic. Today, I thought they might have announced it sooner, but they waited till today. We've got our leadership group announced, and none of us picked the captain that was coming out there. Lucas Fischer joining as the captain of the team here. Connor, you didn't see that coming?
The only thing I expected was that they were going to wait until I was pretty sure they were going to wait until the home opener, but everything was a surprise actually to me. Definitely Fischer. I thought he might have had an A, but I thought with him just being not, I mean, he seems like a quieter guy. I thought maybe that. But, I'm not in the locker room, so that's their choice, and it's not ours. We're just outside perspective, really.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how much of this decision comes from the feedback of the players on the team that already know, have been here and worked with these existing players, to say. But, excuse me, Easton Wainwright in there, I think that was who you and I picked.
Yeah.
What was your reason for wanting Easton Wainwright?
I think consistency and solid and tenure. Like, he's been around. And not that you can't walk in to, just be a captain after a year or so. But, I think he's earned it. He's the hardest worker. And I think he demonstrates solid hockey, even if it's not, top performance, NHL bound, but it's solid hockey. And I was surprised, and I'll even say disappointed. As Connor said, we're not in the dressing room, so we don't know what kind of leaders they are behind the scenes. And I've spoken publicly that I like Fisher, but I still think he should be a forward. I don't think he's a strong enough defenseman, although he's got NHL pedigree under him. So who am I to say?
Yeah,
but,
St. Louis, right?
Yeah, that's right. But and like I say, I'm not the coaching staff, but I was not surprised by all the. Actually, I was surprised by Houston Hurt.
Right.
Pleasantly surprised. That was a good call.
Yeah.
But like Felak and Wainwright and all the rest. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I
Carter
got my names
Costas.
there. Ryan Brown. Yeah, like they all make sense.
Yeah.
I just thought Wainwright would have been the captain, but again, we're not in the dressing room. So
let's talk about Costas there as a player, Connor. I've heard you kind of mention him just once in a while. There's always those standout names, like a Ryan Brown, for example, that we talk about a lot. But Costas isn't one that we talk about a lot. But what do you see that he's bringing to this leadership team as well as the team in general?
I was kind of shocked that he got an A, actually, just because he's only played 34 games for us, and he had been hurt. But, him maybe battling back from injury is assistant captain material. He just shows how resilient he is. But I think he's a great goal scorer, and it's something we haven't really gotten to see a whole lot of just because of the small sample size. But I think he's going to come out and be a little underrated for people, and he's going to score some big goals. He's got great hands, and he's fast. Yeah,
for sure. And, we don't really know the criteria for picking and captain. Every team is different on what they're looking for based on their philosophies to the game and what they're expecting to see out there, right? So wouldn't it be cool to kind of sit around that table with the coaching staff and general managers that are going, why don't I see this? And you just kind of wonder, like, how many debates go on. Is this
You'd love to be a fly on the wall, like you said
right?
earlier.
A unanimous decision or just because that wouldn't be an easy call. I mean, we're talking 5 picks here.
Yeah.
Never mind picking one.
Yeah. And it can, and from a referee's perspective, you know, I'm sure you're aware, but it's only the assistants or the captain who can go to that red circle and talk to the referee about a call. So you want to have guys that are going over there that have hockey knowledge, that have rule knowledge, because otherwise they're just going over there and whining and pissing off the referee. You want them to make sure that they can state their case with knowledge, and so you want that element of those captain and assistants as well.
Yeah. We can show you a little bit of this. We're not able to show you the whole game here tonight, but the Sarnia Sting has stepped out on the ice to warm up. And, boy, those are the warm-up jerseys for Windsor. It's LaUna, right? I was like, wow, those are different jerseys. But those will be the warm-up jerseys, and then they'll change into their regular duds, so to speak. Want to give a shout-out once again to Hughes Intelligence right now for allowing us to use the hockey suite. We'll be here every week before every game. We'll have a live show here for you. So we hope you'll click the like and the share button. And hello, TikTok, and everybody else, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for watching right now. Joining me, Billy Yurchuk, Connor Burke, and our new program, Beyond the Boards. And we're excited to be here talking to you. You know, here it starts, right? Here's the sound and the music, and the vibe is beginning. And, you know, a lot of the fans, they really get excited to look out there and see their players. Let's talk real quick before we move on now, moving past the leadership group, and before we get on to some other things. Is there any players, or what are you looking at?
Just the welcome sign for Jack Bowden. He was not playing tonight in Rusland. Karima. That was awesome. They had a little Sweden flag and a Russian flag there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Welcome to Sarnia.
Yeah, right? Are there any players on this team, Billy, starting with you, that you still feel like you were expecting a little bit more. You haven't quite seen everything from them yet.
Yeah, I think, I'm a big fan of Zach Felak, and especially what he did in the playoffs 2 years ago. And I think both you guys will agree to me that he was a little bit lackluster last year, only because I think for him, he was almost at the top of the mountain and they didn't make it, and he probably realized that they wouldn't do it last year. But I think he really needs to step up. Nothing to do with ability. He's a strong, tough kid. But I think he just needs to step up with his attitude and show why he's wearing that assistant and just try to be strong always and be positive.
Yeah, for sure. Connor, what about you? Any thoughts on somebody you'd like to see a little bit more from?
Nothing that, you can't force guys to do anything, but Tyson Doucette has had an extremely steady point total over his 2 seasons. 8 points in that last year, 46, and I think he's just looking to take another step forward here. I think he can maybe do another 20 points, honestly. He's really good, and he's underrated. And Ryan Brown coming into his sophomore season, I know it's his second season, but he added a lot of size, and that kid's special. He's fast, and he's got an absolute rocket of a shot. And I could see him maybe going for 30 goals.
You read my mind on the Ryan Brown thing. I mean, I expect more. I do expect more. Not that I haven't seen great things from him already, but he's really set an expectation for me now as a player to go out there. And you see, his dad was here. And you see the dedication in the parents, like they're traveling far to be here amongst everything else they do in their lives. But Ryan Brown for me is one that I think we're going to significantly, hopefully, hold on to. This is the other thing. We can talk all we want, but like we just saw with the London trade, like hair today, gone tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
And just a quick mention here, actually, the Brampton Steelheads named their leadership group today, and Porter Martone is now their captain. So that was a huge piece in the trade to get Del Mastro and Del Belbaluz, and he's looking actually to go probably top 5 in the NHL draft this year, which is incredible. Yeah. Which sucks to see from a trade away perspective, but just like you said, I think if we keep Brown, he's going to end up being one of those players.
I think so, and you have to keep a solid core, right? Like we talk about trading guys away near the trade deadline, but you have to keep a solid core because we don't, we're not as weak as we were last year, and I say that respectfully. We're a lot stronger, and you got to keep the core to maintain that.
Don't sell the farm.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, we're getting just about 10 minutes away here. We're still going to keep going. We've got a few more things to talk about, like this right here I wanted to show. So somebody sent me this picture. It wasn't me behind a bus.
Taking pictures with your phone?
No. Only if I was stopped. Anyway, Hughes Intelligence wouldn't have busted me, that's for sure. You talk about the fans that are here and the momentum that they've given this team and support, but it's really throughout the city. I even saw a few businesses already with the Go Sting Go up on their signs out front, and this is a city bus here that somebody captured this moment, and I thought, look at that, like even our city buses are saying Go Sting Go. I don't know if that's the city buses that are programming that, or I think maybe the drivers have access to that.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And they can change it, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm going to investigate this one a little bit more. But this is just really cool to see happening in our city once again, and I think it's all a part of the success that this team is going to have coming in the very near future.
It's a hockey town.
Yeah,
you're growing up, everybody knows somebody who played hockey at some point.
Yeah, you see a lot of it, again, a couple of years ago in the playoffs, you saw a lot of that, but it's nice to see it in the community already.
Yeah, 100%. What am I missing here on TikTok? Hello, we don't want to lose our TikTok fans. How you doing out there, TikTok? And how you doing out there in Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn? We're live on here. We would ask that you please click the share button, a like and a love, and share any comments, maybe some questions that you'd like us to talk about at future episodes. We're going to be live before every Sarnia Sting home game, and maybe something in the works for away games as well. Stay tuned for that. Billy, you talked a little bit. You wanted to talk about some points on the strength of this team and the as a young team and their strength as a young team as well.
Yeah, the OHL put their predicted rankings out a week ago or so, and of course London, Kitchener, Oshawa, all those teams are at the top, and you expect that. And they have us way down near the bottom, I think third last or something. And it's understandable because you're rebuilding, but I think we have enough talent to surprise some of the professionals like that, and I think we'll probably end up much higher than what they anticipate. And it's nice to be the underdog and the dark horse in that regard. Take some of the pressure off, and I think some of these players recognize that, especially after the success they had in the preseason. That that I think most people didn't think they would do as well as they did, especially beating London. So, I think we got good opportunity to do better than the naysayers, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Connor, I got that sheet in front of you there. Have you got the starting lineup available?
Yep, I do right here.
Okay.
We got Felak, Wainwright, and Johnston on the first line.
Oh, okay.
Fisher and Bowden are on the defense. Ryan Brown, Diorio, and Doucette are on the second line. Young and Hurt are the second D pairing. Carter Kostic, Beckham Edwards, and Ruslan Karimov are on the third line. Bridgewater and Barr are the third defense pairing. Sim, Chamberlain, and Lukey are the third line, and Srzicka is starting.
Srzicka, yeah, okay. Bridgewater, I don't know much. I haven't really looked at him much. Do either of you know much about him and as a player?
He won the most athletic in the group of the whole Sting during their camp there. So nothing but good things to say about that. If he's got a motor and he's going to confirm in the last minutes of the third period, that's what you want. So.
Yeah.
He's a talented defenseman, though.
Is this? Oh, sorry, go.
No, I'm just. I notice effort out of him, and to know that he won the most athletic, that makes sense because he can go 60 minutes, and so. And I'm not saying he doesn't have talent. I know he does, but notwithstanding the talent, the effort is what excels a lot of players.
Right. Okay. We're almost wrapping things up here, but boy, we've had lots to talk about here, and we've still got a few things I want to go over. Particularly, it's been 1 month just about since the tragedy that happened in the NHL to a family, Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. And I just thought that I saw that I didn't see it live, but I saw the NHL. Of course, they did something, and they did a 13-second moment of silence.
Right.
And we just want to kind of take a moment here and show you what the NHL did. It's about a minute, so stay with us, and then we'll get back with more Beyond the.
On August 29th, the hockey family tragically lost brothers Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. We ask that you turn your attention to the video board as we honor their lives.
Today, we honor the memories of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. Whether it was on the ice or in the community, if you were fortunate enough to cross paths with the Gaudreau brothers, you were better for it. Johnny earned the nickname Johnny Hockey for his goals, assists, and electrifying rushes. But what truly made him special is how he touched people off the ice. As a friend, teammate, husband, father, and brother. Together, Johnny and Matthew shared a deep devotion to our game and to each other, as theirs was an inseparable bond as brothers, friends, and teammates. They proved time and again what matters most in the game of hockey and in life isn't measured by inches or pounds, but by character, heart, and passion.
All right, well, definitely, what do you even say?
Yeah,
right?
What do you say?
Sorry to come on in. We're live, but that's okay. There's my friend Barry from Hughes Intelligence Canada allowing us to suite here. Hi guys, how are you? We're going to be done here in just a minute.
Hey, Santa's here.
You're in front of my camera there, Bentley. You're okay. Go ahead, sit down. We won't see it. If you sit down, we won't see it. Everybody's afraid of the camera except these guys.
Yeah.
World U17 is coming your way here in the first week of November. I know you guys got your tickets. Excited about that. I'll be sadly in Mexico. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Sorry, not sorry.
But you go to sarniasting.com to get all your tickets for that. And again, shout out and I guess hugs and all that to the Gaudreau family. That's something that's going to stay with them well for a lifetime. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We want to thank all of you for watching, for being here. We'll be back again next Friday before the Sarnia Sting home game, and we're going to be posting some other stuff coming up as well. Connor, Burke, and Billy Yurchuk, thanks so much for joining me here, guys.
Thanks for having me.
We're ready for another season. Get ready as the Sarnia Sting. Get ready to take on the Windsor Spitfires. We'll have our live intermission broadcasts as well to keep you updated. Stay with us. Thank you for everybody on TikTok. We're saying goodbye to you now.
And just like the Yankees
Don't
winning the
even
World Series, the Yankees winning the American League East, there's success in the air.
Okay, that's all we got. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.